Welcome back to another episode of Cape Ann Today. I am speaking today with Lily Narbonne, a founder of the Lanescoven Theater Group, and with Wesley Guimarães. And I hope that's right.
That's good. That's good. You got it.
Wesley is playing Romeo in the upcoming romance tragedy Romeo and Juliet. But I'm jumping. I want to say first that the Lanescoven Theater season opened this month with The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde, described as a trivial comedy for serious people. The glowing reviews this performance received all over Cape Ann and probably Boston, I think, were very serious. It was so well received. And now we are in high summer with Romeo and Juliet. And you guys are going to tell us all about this exciting performance coming up.
Yeah.
Wes, let's start with you. Who are you as an actor, and how did you land as Romeo in Gloucester?
It's sort of the perfect alignment of all the stars, really. So I grew up in Brazil. I'm from Brazil originally, but I moved to the US for college, and I went to college in Western Massachusetts at Amherst College, so just on the opposite end of the state. And that's when I got into theater and dance. You know, I went to college to be an econ poli-sci major, but fell in love with theater and dance and thought, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this for a living. Then after college, I went to the American Conservatory Theater to get my MFA. And that's where our connection begins. Lily and Justin both went to ACT before I did, before my time. But we have a marvelous teacher, professor, mentor in common who taught them and taught me. And then I graduated last year, and this is my the tail end of my first year out of grad school. And I was just here in Massachusetts at the Huntington with a show earlier this year. And that one professor that we have in common said, hey, I'm going up to Gloucester to do Romeo and Juliet. You should connect with Lily and Justin because they're looking for a Romeo. And I said, absolutely, count me in. That is so much fun. One of my classmates was recently here, Madeline Yeagle.
She was in Monkey.
She was in Monkey at another show. So I was like, I have to just go party with these people and have fun over the summer. And thank God it all aligned and it was perfect. And that's how I ended up here. And I'm absolutely loving it.
Oh, that is so wonderful. Well, I want to go really quickly back to Brazil. Tell me about dance and theater in Brazil. You must have been doing something there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's sort of embedded in the culture. I mean, we are just dancing people. I'm from Rio, so Rio has the largest carnival in the world. So growing up, it's that yearly month-long celebration of just colors and freedom and artistic expression. So that's what I knew as theater, you know, like the huge influence of theater of the oppressed, which to us is really theater in public squares, talking to people and having people jump in and participate. So that's what I knew as theater. And I would never dreamed of just having that as my career. You know, in Brazil, it's still, you know, if you're an artist, you're an artist, but it's a different path. It's a different trajectory compared to the one that we trace here in the US. So, but I grew up with that. And now to use all of that and, you know, like going to college and doing theater and dance was mind blowing. I was studying things that I took for granted just by being a native of Brazil. And now we get to use it, you know, like this production of Romeo and Juliet, there's lots of movement in it, lots of beautiful music and great moments among the cast. And it's just nice to just have that reference and be part of that world so naturally.
Yeah. And he's just so good. You're a really excellent, amazing Romeo.
Oh,
everything is so clear, crystal like he paints the image for you. It's so easy to hear the poetry when he says it. So
thank you very much.
I mean, your storytelling ability is so clear. I would say that, Lily, that you know, it's no one should be daunted by Shakespeare. That's what I'm trying to say, is that you guys tell this story and it's funny, and all that Shakespeare is intending. It's funny, it's sad, it's tragic, it's all there. And you guys do such a wonderful sort of modern, youthful way of doing that. So
thank you. Thank you. I mean, and you're great at that as well. And I think it does maybe come from an instinct of like wanting to share so badly and wanting to use it to engage with others, like positively, and engage around just reveling in the human experience, but also potential social change.
Yeah.
And so I think at the core, all of us in the enriching and ever developing community of Lanescoven, we really have that in our heart. And then when we can, be good enough to really communicate that in our craft and in the way we actually say the words, that's when it's just really rewarding. Yeah. So thank you.
So tell us about what's going to be surprising about this Romeo and Juliet performance.
Let's see. Well, I'd start with maybe casting. So the professor that Wes mentioned, our marvelous, marvelous teacher, her name is Lisa Ann Porter, and she plays the friar, who is essentially more Romeo's parent figure than his own father, who his own father referred to as Montague. So Lisa playing the friar, a traditionally male character, is a no-brainer for us because she's such a role model for us. She has so much wisdom as a human, as a mother, as a teacher and actor. So having her in that like pillar of like leadership and also beautiful things to say is wonderful. But furthermore, the story we're telling with that is that Romeo and Juliet is really not just about the title characters, Romeo and Juliet. It really is about the parents or the parent figures and what happens when you lose sight of maybe some sort of passion, which is definitely what Romeo and Juliet have, cosmic passion. So then they disconnect from their kids, but then what happens to their kids when they go overboard? So really the story of the parents and the figure, like the nurse as well. Our nurse is played by Phoebe Potts of Too Fat for China, which is very well known in Gloucester, her solo show produced by Gloucester Stage. So we're thrilled to have her in the room. She's so wonderful, so fun, also a mother, and that's actually new for Lanescoven to have. We're mostly like a 20s, 30s, and then our well-known family in their 60s, 70s, right? But now we have more middle-aged actors who are so incredible and enriching to the process. Also, Caroline Harvey, co-owner of Dogtown Books, plays Paris, who is Juliet's betrothed, and Prince Aeschylus. And Prince Aeschylus is like the highest status guy, royalty of Verona. So it's great to have Caroline there, who is such a also person of wisdom in Cape Ann.
Amazing poet and a performer.
Right.
She's
right.
She's, well, as is Phoebe, but not Potts, but and they're both incredible performers, and they step onto a stage and they own it.
Exactly. So we're just like rippling with gratitude over here. Also, surprise will be intense fight choreography.
Yeah.
The play starts with a fight.
I said, be careful.
That's
absolutely. You got to do it multiple times.
Exactly.
We need you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. So it starts with this whole street brawl. So you just have to think about the thing of like, two households that don't get along with each other, two groups of people, two gangs that don't get along with each other. Then they just start a fight immediately at the top of the play, and then the fallout from that after we get scolded by Caroline. What other surprises? Costuming is like a mix between 70s, 80s, and Renaissance. So in an attempt to make it modern, but also classic. Scott Moore, our neighbor, lives right over there, is composing original music. inspired both by Prokofiev, aka classic, but also modern 80s goth, like Susie and the Banshees.
Oh, nice.
So
So I know in you initiated, let's talk about ticketing, because I know
Yeah.
you initiated a program with Ernest that is basically makes the theater accessible to everyone on Cape Ann. Do you want to talk about that?
Absolutely. So financial accessibility has always been a pillar of our mission, as you know. So this year we decided officially to make one pay what you can performance. Essentially, it's free. Free is acceptable. And literally online, the only way is to come reserve for free. So you can bring cash if you are able. If not, that's okay. If you have $5 to donate, that's great too. But we just believe that theater is for everyone, whether or not you have $25 to $45 in your bank account, because most actors, and we're an actor-based company, have been there, you know.
Your free
And
your free show is what day?
August 6th at 7 p.m.
Well, we should say when the show opens and closes. Tell us that.
The show opens August 4th at 7 p.m. That's essentially a preview. Then the official opening is August 5th at 7 p.m. So then we run for 3 weekends all the way through August 20th.
Great. And this
Yeah,
is
and that can,
Wind Hover, I have to say.
yep. Yeah, we are outdoors at Windhover under the tent. And you can purchase tickets at www.lanescoven.com and then just go to 2023 season, and you can pick your date, and then you pick whether you want to pay $45 for a ticket or $25 for a ticket. They all are a chair. Just the $45 one is like the more comfortable camping chair, and that's up front. Then there's also picnic table seating. Technically, those are a little bit partial view, but if you're a couple and you have, or a single parent and you have kiddos, and they might want to like run away for a second and like have a little bit more freedom, pick the picnic table, and you can still be kind of up front and you still see the thing, but it can be a little bit more easy for young kids. So I recommend that.
You're so friendly. 7 people. That's great. All right. What else should we know? So it opens August 4th through the 20th. Free show is on August 6th, right? So it starts at 7. It's at Windhover. What else do we, anyone else we need to know?
There's one matinee also on August 6th at 3 p.m. So if you prefer a matinee, please come for that. Also, no alcohol sales are we doing at Windhover, so you may bring your own, and coming early is cool. A lot of people, for the importance of being earnest, were coming at like 5:30, 6 with their whole picnic with their friends, whether it's like your date that night or like 8 other people, and bring your wine and cups and just hang. And then the show starts at 7, and then you can, drink and picnic throughout the night. When you
that's important to know. That's a great tip. Yeah.
BYOB.
Exactly. Wesley, since I'm going to jump to you. What have you learned about playing Romeo?
Oh gosh, I think it's one of those roles that I've always wanted to do, and partially because Romeo is he goes through such a transformation during this play. At the top of the play, Romeo is a lot more like I am as a person, introverted, sort of brooding type. So I can jump into that very easy. But just the human experience of just falling in love and trusting a community of folks to just profess that love out loud and do whatever it takes to make that happen. I think that is such an important process in life, and a transformation that I as an actor wanted to go through and just tap into. And I think it's inspiring. It's inspiring to see a young man come out of his shell and do whatever it takes for love, and also see how society and the pressures of family, of context, situation can impact that and ultimately make
Yeah.
this play the tragedy that it is. But that's sort of what I'm learning every day. Every day in rehearsal, there's something new about what that transformation is like and how it plays out and how it goes out into the world and essentially our community here in Gloucester. So I'm super excited to keep exploring. That's one of my favorite things about Lanescoven so far is it's a company of people who are not afraid to just, throw some paint on the canvas and see what kind of shape it makes and go with that. And I think that that's such a gift to any community that can witness that. So
very nice. Very nice. All right, let's leave it at that because those are beautiful words. So thank you so much for that. And I certainly hope to see this performance. I really look forward to it.
Thanks, Heather. Thank you so much.
Good luck with opening night and all that.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
Interested in a sponsorship? Email sponsor@1623studios.org to learn more.